PM Kester, and welcome to the How to Take a Break podcast. This is a wellness-centered podcast presented by PM Kester Enterprises that examines the different types of breaks people take and why you need to incorporate breaks into your life. Let's start the episode. And welcome back to part 2 of my interview with Youmie Jean Francois of Flex and Fly. If you remember the first half, we got into all the stuff about taking a break to manifest your destiny. We're going to pick things back up with our conversation on her relationship with her sister, and she is also going to drop some information on a big thing that she manifested for Flex and Fly this year. And some of these announcements you guys are going to hear first. So stick around so you can listen in. So we were talking about your sister being your best friend and manifestation of relationships and soulmates and things like that.
My sister be my soulmate, yeah.
Which is a thing,
again. My soulmate for sure. My sister believes I'm her soulmate too, and she's married. Her husband knows that too. Husband be like that. All right, good luck, guys. Bye.
I think that's also another thing why we kind of have to have these seasons of aloneness, because a lot of times, again, you can find these things, and I am open to love, my relationship journal, but a lot of times we seek kind of this outside validation or this partnership validation, like romantic. We feel like we have to have like this romantic love, when really and truly you just need community. You need to go out and kind of make friends or go and have experiences, and that will fill you up more than you trying to go into a relationship where you end up repeating a pattern over and over again, because you have not learned how to fill your own self up and what fills you up.
I agree. I think community, I will say to you that community is heavily important to me for many different reasons. One, because I don't come from a huge family, but family is very important to me. Not necessarily like having children, just family. I consider my friends my family too. That whole kids thing, Lord Jesus.
Okay.
That's a whole different situation.
Look, I wasn't even aware. So I was like, oh, this is new. Okay.
No, but like, you know how people are with kids. Like, because I think like when people think of family, they only think of kids, you know, being involved, part of it. I do think it's a huge part of it, but I do think community creates family. And I struggled for a very long time having the language to express how I needed a certain form of community.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, the way I am with my friends, I find that many people aren't used to that. And for a long time, a lot of people thought in my friendships I was asking for too much, or like I did too much for them. But like my girlfriends, when they were single, they weren't like, the way I was treating them, I guess, was what they expected from men and romantically. Right. Where I don't do that. If I want to, I take out my girlfriends on dates. We plan to see each other. We get dressed. We love on each other. We support each other. I mean, we do that because that's what community is supposed to do. You're supposed to feel full. There's a statistic out there that women, in fact, live longer because we have community rather than men, because of the way, like a man has to be married, but a woman necessarily doesn't have to be if she has really close girlfriends.
And that was one of the things they brought up for one of the communities and the people that live to 100. It was, I feel like this might have been the one that was in Italy, Sardinia or something like that.
Okay.
And it was a group of women that got together. They were all like close to 100 or 100. And they built a community like where, so they all looked out for each other. They all made sure that each other was active. And the men lived long in that community, but the women still lived longer. And I think it was community. And even like community was a theme for like a lot of those communities in general, like where everyone lived 100, there was some type of sense of community, like where people helped each other out, people knew each other, people did stuff together, they had strong bonds.
Yeah.
And so I do think, and I'm like that too. What is that, a tourist thing where like my
Me too.
friends,
I think that's a tourist thing too. We just love our people. Like,
where
let's
like my
build our.
friends have like pulled me to the side and been like, okay, are you doing too much or whatever? Or they was like, I had one that was like, well, are you needy? And I'm like, I don't think I'm needy. But really from talking to like my best friend, because they were also shocked that I had a best friend from elementary school still. And she flew up for my birthday. And it was just like, how's this? And I just think that people are not used to that type of connection.
Yeah.
Because where we've always just kind of had each other back. We've always done stuff for people. Like, you know, I had a kid when I was a sophomore in college, and my best friend was like buying my kid diapers and babysitting, and we were both children, you know what I'm saying? But we had this sense of community and friendship where like, if you got something, I have something, and we gonna treat each other well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we gonna go live it up. We're gonna do good. And so I've had friends come back since and be like, well, this person is not as good as friend as you. Like, you're great. And I'm like, I think we don't really understand the power of friendship. Woo. And I think that is also, again, that's also about reconnecting with yourself and kind of knowing who you are and knowing what you need out of relationships. Because
I think that was one of my biggest manifestations. One of my biggest manifestations happened, I want to say over a year ago, where I was like, God, I don't want any more question marks in my life. Like, I literally said, if I have a question mark about somebody, something, it's not going to work for me. Because at this point in my life, there's certain things I know about myself very well. And like, because I have that connection with God, I'm always like, I know I'm a patient person, but I'm so patient where it's been detrimental to me. Mm-hmm. And where it has to make me not have expectations in friendships and relationships. And I realized that if I have to alter my expectations that are, to me, basic minimum, like the minimum, then I'm not operating as my most authentic self in that relationship in any form. And so one of the biggest manifestations was like, I only attract good people in my life that want to bless me. I attract people that love me, that want to be good to me, that genuinely support me. And I make sure to not talk about what they don't do because I'm too busy talking about what they do.
They do, yeah.
So I'm like, I don't have any question mark about this person in my life. They're a keeper. And I started removing myself, which is very hard for people like us to do because we're so loyal.
Yeah.
And anyone that didn't want anything to do with me, I accepted it. I was like, okay, I didn't have to agree. I didn't have to, it didn't mean it didn't hurt me or like all the stuff, but I started living in the flow of my life. And this is what I talk about when we talked about earlier about having the alignment of God's will in your life too. When we talk about flow, it doesn't mean there isn't conflict or like difficulty. You know what I mean? Like, you know, things can be real rough when it's flowing, but it has to flow to the other side. So for me, I just started saying, you know, God, I am uncomfortable feeling like I have a friend or I have friends that are jealous of me.
Yeah.
For what? What could you possibly be jealous of me of? You've seen the struggle. You've watched me go through it. You've literally seen the process. And I understand that jealousy is actually a very normal human emotion. The conflict with having a friend that's jealous is the is literally not being able to have the tough conversation. Because now, not only do I feel betrayed, I feel insulted by your jealousy. So I can't even operate as the friend that I want to be to you, because I'm in offense, because I've swallowed my pride to be able to say, hey, I feel like you're not showing up for me this way. Is everything okay? I have given plenty of space and opportunity for us to have those hard conversations. And I can understand when people aren't there yet and all that type of stuff, but I can't have it around me because I am not that person. I can no longer water and nurture those type of seeds in my life. It's too conflicting with the fullest version of me. So I had to literally manifest my way out of these type of relationships. And it's been the best thing I've ever done. I feel so bad to say it at times. I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever done.
No, but it's true. And a lot of times we wonder why certain things aren't happening with us. And I think it's because of the people that we have around us. I will say, we've talked about it again. Like I said, I broke up with my ex-boyfriend, not my ex-husband, my ex-boyfriend in September of last year. Also before that, I had this horrible friendship breakup. Like I really felt like the past couple of years was just like pain. It was like a lot of crazy stuff.
Me too.
It was like a crazy season, but it's kind of took me getting to this season, which there's some definite harvest stuff happening. It's still some crazy happening, but it's definitely some stuff coming on where I've read back through my journals and I've been able to like sit and meditate. And I was like, oh, I get it now. Those people had to be removed because I wouldn't be at this point of getting blessed if I was still around those people that were jealous or envious or pessimistic and things like that. I wouldn't be there. And so they did not go along with the alignment. They weren't aligned with me. And so they were causing me to be out of alignment with the bigger picture. And so that's kind of how you need to, I find now getting on the other side of this, I think we kind of have to look at that, especially when you manifest stuff. Like sometimes when you're trying to manifest something, this dream, this destiny, some people are going to get removed because they don't fit into that picture. And it's going to hurt.
No matter how badly you want them to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really rough. It's really rough.
Okay. Hold, please. There's a child who just screamed. Face made for that. Face made. Well, we're going to go to the next question. See, there was a good pivot of child coming in. Messing up the flow. But so we talked a lot about how to manifest and like things that come along with manifestation. What has been something that you have manifested that surprised you? And is a dream ever too big?
Ooh.
I know it's a two-part whammy.
Yeah. Something I manifested that was too big of a dream?
Well, something that you manifested that surprised you. We'll start that first.
That surprised me.
Or maybe it didn't.
Yeah. Because the manifestation group, one of my rules is to leave room for God to surprise you.
Yes. Yes.
You remember that,
you
right?
Said that. You did.
You think I bought that? You think that just came out of nowhere? Honey. Honey. I think God has a way of surprising his kids the most. Like whatever you can think of, God has something bigger that he can blow your mind with. But right now, I think the fact that, this is going to be an exclusive. When is this coming out?
Wednesday.
Oh, I can't say it then.
Do you want me? I can hold it. You want me to hold it a week?
Yes.
Okay.
A week or two. But I guess I'll give you the exclusive then, not even the email list, is that like, I think recently one of the biggest things that came out that God surprised me with manifest wise was the fact that we are in a store in Paris. We just booked a store in Paris, and we're in a design store in Paris, and with a whole bunch of designers, the Flex bag, and I didn't see that coming at all. I
I love
saw
that.
myself. I mean, we have the retails, but we're gonna be in Paris in the store, and also the Soho store in New York. Like, and I didn't see that happening. I don't know how that happened so easily. I mean, I guess I do because it's God, but that was really shocking to me, because when I applied for that opportunity, I didn't even think it was a big deal. When I applied for it, I was just like, okay, let me just because I know how big and how hard it is to get into that situation. But it was a lie. It was a lie. And I will tell you this. Nothing, absolutely nothing in this world beats God's favor.
That's right.
Nothing. And when God has favored you and have chosen an appointed time for things to happen in your life, it will be. It will be. Not even you can ruin it.
Mm-hmm.
It will be. And I think, going to Paris in a couple months to see our bags in the stores is going to be quite fun to see, because this wasn't part of the plan for the Flex bags. And I'm a Taurus, I'm a planner, visualizing wise, like I plan, you know what I mean? But like, so I think that was the most recent thing. I mean, obviously everything else I asked for that I've manifested, but they happened rather quickly. No Storm happened rather quickly. Macy's happened quickly. Belk happened quickly. Like, all those places happened rather quickly. They took a while to onboard,
I
but
know,
they
I'm like
happened
excited.
rather quickly. Yeah, they happened rather quickly because I think God
Because
was
I
just
don't
like,
think, did you announce those yet? I don't think you announced
I
those yet.
didn't know. None of this is.
Because I was like, Nordstrom's? I can now send people to Nordstrom's. People be like, just
Yeah,
this weekend.
nostorm.com, Macy's.com, like none of those were Belk.com for the South people, like in the South. Yeah, I don't know if you have Belk in Atlanta. You guys have, I think I know
We
it's in,
do. We have
you
all.
do.
We have
Yeah, all in
all.
the mall and stuff. Yeah, yeah. I
And
didn't
for
know
people
anything
listening,
about
I'm gonna make sure the link to the Flex bag is also in the comments. But
that. Yeah.
every week I get chased down for someone asking me about this bag. I was at Nordstrom Rack this past weekend. This lady followed me out of the store. I had to I had to unzip my bag. She wanted to look all up in the bag. She wanted to be like, and where is it again? Can you type it into my phone? I was like,
Thank
okay,
you so
sure.
much. It means so much to me that when people harass you, you still send them to my website.
Well, it's like, so funny because I'm just like, well, and it's all races. That's what kills me, because on the belt line, I'll get like some Black women. Like, I've had Black women just kind of like run back and be like, excuse me. I'm like, oh, hey girl, hey. Where did you get that? Because I mean, I wear it everywhere now. Like, it's like, it's my purse. It is my purse.
That makes me so happy. And you were one of our first customers. You've had the bag from the beginning.
So, I mean, I'm just excited because people are always like, where can I get it? And I was like, she's expanding soon. It's going to be everywhere. And I didn't even know it was going to be in Nordstrom or anything like that. And I was like, it's going to be everywhere soon.
Yeah. I'm really excited. It's been a lot of work, like.
I mean, that's a big manifestation.
Yes, I think I sent it in the email last year that I wanted to just go from DTC to retail, and it happened. We got every single place we wanted. Every single place we wanted. God is really good. Like, one, I think having a good product obviously really helps. The bags are actually a good bag. You can actually use it to travel. You'll see when you head to Puerto Rico how easy it is when you're in there. They're going to be asking you where it is too. But I think that also knowing that you have something special and being patient with your success is really important, which is something manifestation also taught me, that the timing of a thing of like is based on the ego of you wanting it at a certain time, right? But when you truly believe your success is inevitable, time isn't an option. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. So, you putting a time is just straight for you. It's not about God anymore.
Yeah.
It's straight for you. So I think knowing that my success is inevitable have really helped me. I say that every single day, especially on days when things aren't working the way I desire it to be working. I'm like, my success is inevitable. Like, none of this will stick to me. It is literally impossible for things to not work out for me. It has to work out for me.
Okay.
Okay. So, like, I live my life and I think this form of confidence and affirmed speaking is strictly knowing that God is with me. It isn't me being delusional. It isn't me faking it to make it. It is me speaking God's word over my life. I'm blessed.
Right.
I'm favored. Everything works out for me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Everything is scripture. You understand what I'm saying? God wants me to be successful. I am the head, not the tail. I am constantly speaking his word over my life. And so it's not me hyping myself up. It's me speaking what God says about me. And that's a whole different level of confidence. I'm not, we're not, we're not playing this game of delusion. I'm not delusional. I'm faithful. I'm speaking on faith. I am consistent with my faith. I have to be. I do not know how anyone in this world actually make it through this day, especially the times we've been having in this world right now, without going to the source. And for me, that's Christ, that is God. And I try my best when I speak about God. I speak from a very personal place. I've been through so much in my life, but I want to be careful to let people know that, like, my life is not here to be exposed. I'm not going to use my trauma and hardships to expose myself to make you feel like I'm being vulnerable. I'm vulnerable because I'm real.
That's
I've
right.
gone through some things in life. I don't need to give you every single detail. I do not have to share every single part of my brokenness to get you to relate to me. I think that's a falsehood that social media has created. I still believe in privacy. I am a very private person. I still believe that there are some people that should know absolutely nothing about you
That's
because
right.
they do not know how to deal with someone on a space that you're in. If you're in a stage in your life, in a space in your life that you are exceedingly moving very differently than most people are, you're going to come off a certain way to those people. You do not have the time to feed those type of people. Say nothing.
Yep.
They don't deserve to know anything about you, especially the hardships that you've gone through, because they're only going to use that to try to act like they know you. Like, I don't need anyone trying to use my trauma or my vulnerability against me or to try to act like they know me. I only want authentic people in my life. I only want that in my life. And I think discernment also teaches you when to open your mouth and when to keep it quiet. And I find that a lot of people in this world are too busy trying to be relatable and not using discernment of when to speak and when to not.
Right.
Just don't speak. I speak. My friends that I'm close with don't think I'm quiet. They know everything. You know why? Because they're my friends. And they
Exactly.
say,
Yes, we are similar because like the all the time. They're so quiet. I was like,
I'm quiet with you.
not everybody.
I'm quiet with you, friend. Yeah, I think it's really important, like, I don't want to share this yet, but like when I do, I'll tell you off the line, off
Yeah.
off the thing. But like we talk about the importance of writing it down, making it plain. You have to get out of your mind. You have to write it out. And when you write it out, stop judging yourself. There's so many people that are unable to really release and write and vent or script even when it's time to script. They can't do either or, journal or script, because they're too busy judging their wants, their desires, how they feel, how they still feel, whether they're healed or not. Like, you're too busy picking on yourself. That it's really hard to manifest when you're picking on yourself. When you're like, oh, I can't believe I still have feelings for this person all day, like, okay, we know. It's okay. You're still struggling. It's okay.
You're not alone.
Okay,
a lot of us are. Yeah.
But you know what's going to happen? You're not going to be there for the rest of your life. Just get through the season.
That's it.
I don't care how long the season is, because I know some seasons are longer than others. Okay, I don't know why God be playing with us like that. I yell at him for that too. I know some seasons are longer than others, but I still need you to just allow yourself to have that season and not be your own enemy.
That's it.
The world is ready to be your enemy. You don't have to be part of that.
And I think that's it. We're gonna leave it for that question. I like that. The world is already trying to be your enemy. You don't have to be your own enemy. That's a breakaway. No. Don't be your own enemy.
Yes.
Well, I write that down. I'm going to ask you the question, because this is what we do on this podcast. So you have 50,000 things to do. You have a lot to do. You're preparing for the biggest quarter of the retail year.
Yes. Oh, geez.
How do you take a break from running your business, doing these
all the time?
And what advice can you offer people for prioritizing taking breaks?
Well, as you know, and this is a big privilege of mine, the first month of the year is mine. I have a tradition where I wake up in a different country every new year. So the whole month from December 28th to February 4th or something, I'm in a different country, living my best life with strangers. And sometimes well-known people.
Yes, I've seen the photos.
Yes. I just disappear. I go to different countries. This is something that I plan every year. I wake up in a different country. That's a big one. I save and I make sure that I'm able to do that. Thankfully, the life that I live now has enabled me to do that. So a big way I take a break is through traveling. I love traveling and meeting new people and learning. It's my favorite way to learn. The second way that I take a break like in the summertime, it's different. In the summertime, I go swimming. I ride my bike every morning. And I often find that I like to do workouts. I've been really into taking classes and working out very specifically. I take a break that way. And then I love going out to eat. I'm a foodie. Someone is like ringing my bell like crazy. I have no idea why. Literally no one rings my bell. No one knows we're here.
Okay.
It's so funny. But I'm gonna continue this. They're gonna have to wait because I don't know who's calling.
Okay.
But, so yeah, I would say that those are the ways I really take a break. I read a lot. I know you're a great reader. I love reading, riding my bike. I love to read.
And so, because you've listed like a whole bunch of breaks.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for people on how to do this? Like, how do you prioritize this time with yourself?
You have to my life is very different from most people. I don't have any, what I like to call real responsibilities. I don't have children, you know what I mean? I know that's a big thing for mothers and fathers and, any caretaker, anyone that has children. I know that my way of living may look very different for you. My advice to you would be, what is that thing that make you feel really happy every time you do it? Even if it's for 5 minutes, devote yourself to it. Like
I
I
love
also dance 10 minutes a day, every single day to some Afro beats. And I think it's wonderful. And I think all of you guys should do it.
I love it. I'm not going to tell on myself, but yes, I do randomly dance around the house every day. But
Absolutely.
to
As you
raise, you
should
got to raise your
listen your
vibration.
vibration.
Yeah.
Yes. And everyone should do it. But I think you should do those things. Sometimes, you just want to go and have a croissant early in the morning at your favorite bakery and like, just people watch,
Okay,
sometimes,
Hallmark movie. Yes,
yeah,
I love it.
I mean, this is my daily life, honey. My life isn't Hallmark. Hallmark studies me, darling. Okay.
Okay, look here, Miss Youmie. Where can our listeners find you online out here in this world so they can come and support you?
You should find us at flexandfly.com. Please sign up for our email list. That's where I really cater to my amazing people. But soon you'll be able to connect with me privately. My personal brand is building, and I've created a secret society that I'm going to be hanging out with. Because there's so many amazing things that I'm doing with Flex and Fly this coming year. And I want to give everyone a private look into my life in that way that's not so public. So I'm really excited about that. So sign up for flexandfly.com for our email list so you can be one of the first people to get into that community that I'm building. We spoke a lot
Oh,
about community today. So it's really funny
I
that
love
happened.
this.
Yes.
We're
And for
getting like
Flex and
all the little
Fly,
extra stuff now.
I'm I'm giving you
All
all
the
the like
tea.
exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Please bring this out in about 2 weeks. Please
Yes.
hold me
I will
out. Hold
hold.
me out. I got
I will
I'll let
hold.
you know when.
I will hold. Um,
Yeah, and Flex and Fly official on Instagram and Flex and Fly on TikTok.
okay. So everybody, I'm going to put what I'm allowed to put in the notes for this podcast. So you will find her website so you can sign up for her newsletter and you can buy a flex bag and you can follow her on social media.
Yeah.
Youmie, thank you for being on the show. Everyone else, stick around so we can get into the 3 breakaways. All right, and now we're back with the 3 breakaways. I really hope you enjoyed this 2-part interview. As you can probably tell, Youmie is a great friend and an unofficial mentor of mine. And I just love talking to her. I always gain something from our conversation. And I was able to pick out 3 breakaways that jumped out to me. Hopefully, they resonated with you. She actually dropped like maybe 6 or 7 that I wrote down. But these are my top 3. So, number 1, your success is inevitable. Be mindful of the way you speak to yourself. This jumped out to me because a lot of times we talk ourselves out of stuff, and we can't really blame it on anybody else. People are always like, well, that person, did you talk yourself out of it? Because a lot of times it's us. Your success is inevitable. Walk in it. Talk like it is. And so it will be. Number 2, manifestation is when your vision and desires align with God's will. That was a breakaway with me because there's so many conversations about manifestation. What is it? Biblical forms, spiritual forms, all this type of stuff. And I just really love the way she summed up how she defined manifestation in her life. And I agree with it. Drop a comment and let me know your thoughts about that definition of manifestation. And number 3, the world is already against you. Don't be against yourself. Look, see breakaway number 1. Again, we will give up on the race before we even start the race. And a lot of times we don't need anyone else to be against us. And depending on your race, your sexuality, your gender, a lot of times some things are already working against you. So why would you work against yourself? Why would you talk about yourself? Why would you be your own biggest enemy? Don't be against yourself. I'm going to say those 3 breakaways again. Number 1, your success is inevitable. Be mindful of the way you speak to yourself. Number 2, manifestation is when your vision and desires align with God's will. And number 3, the world is already against you. Don't be against yourself. Thank you so much for listening. There's no anniversary show on a traditional anniversary, but today, as I'm sitting here recording this ending of this podcast that was originally recorded in September, is October the 30th. This is the anniversary, 5 years of me doing How to Take a Break. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And until next time, find a little time to take a break. Bye. Thanks for taking a break to listen to the episode. Connect with me at PM Kester, that's KESTER on Instagram, or email thekester@gmail.com. As always, subscribe, rate, and review us on your platform of choice. Until next time, find a little time to take a break. Bye.